Hey, it's your friendly neighborhood Lost Canuck, and we're here out in the barbecue barn. And in today's video, we've reached the unpleasant stage of owning a pellet grill, especially on my Lone Star Grillz 42-inch pellet smoker. Okay, but this video can go with any style of pellet grill that you might have. All right. So in today's video, we're going to do some cleaning. Got my gloves on, and this pit's filthy. We're going to get her sparkling beautiful again. So, and we're going to do a little maintenance work on it too. So don't need this cooking hat on, so let's take that off and get to her. All right, so first things first, if you don't have a Shop Vac, get one and dedicate it to your smoker, okay? Whether it be for charcoal ash or pellet grill ash or whatever. Get yourself a halfway decent Shop Vac and then dedicate it for this, because the filters will get filthy and you'll get filthy changing them. So there's that. All right, let's get down to it. I'm going to start the maintenance part of this first. I'm going to take the access panel off my Lone Star Grillz 42-inch pellet smoker and get everything cleaned out of there. So let's get that going. All right, we're back at the pit, and I'm going to do the access panel. But first, I'm going to have to loosen and take off the cord wrap. So this is a magnetic wrap. I got my Shop Vac over here. Let's take the cord wrap off. Now it's just magnetic, so it should pop right off. And the paint looks good. Okay, so on my other hack video that you probably have seen, you'll notice I don't need any tools. These are just thumb screws, stainless steel thumb screws that I bought. And if you haven't checked out the hack video, I'll leave a, oops, look at that, I dropped one. I'll put a link up at the top of this over here in this corner here. And you can see my grill bot sitting down there. I did a video on that too. If you're bored some night and you want to see a cool grill bot video, I got one. Okay, so this doesn't look too bad. I've been running this pit for 8 months, and I'm not sure if you can see inside there. Let me tilt my camera down a bit. There we go. That doesn't look bad. It doesn't look really too dirty at all. Nope. Okay, well, I'm going to vacuum all the crap out of there. Sometimes you get a lot of junk in there from all your cooks. The motor looks good. Fan looks fine. All right. Everything looks good. Okay. I'm going to vacuum out over here too. Okay. So, like I said, get yourself a good Shop Vac. I picked up this little DeWalt here at Costco for 59 bucks. It was on sale. Now it's going to get really loud here for a little bit. Apologize. Okay, that's that. So some guys on the older models will get this really full, and it sometimes blocks this fan. So it's important that you keep this area clean. So we did our 6 months cleaning, so let's put the access panel back on and clean the inside. So we got our thumb screws. You need 6 of these. They're stainless steel, and I got mine from Zorro. Okay, so the flange, this flange here, is at the top. So let's put that on. Try not to chip up your paint. Okay, so that's it for the access panel. Just tighten your thumb screws up, finger tight. That's all you need there. Okay. And now we're going to go inside the cabinet. Oh, we're going to grease the hinges. And then we're going to go inside the cabinet and brush the grates off. Okay, so just do an initial brush. Get your heavies off. Don't forget to clean off your sensor on the inside too. When I say sensor, I mean your temperature sensor. We'll get to that in a minute. No sense cleaning off your deflector when you're putting all these bits of food on top of it. You can see mine's pretty loaded stuff. Now my gasket's been actually holding up pretty good. I've spilled a lot of grease on it, but I did buy spare gasket material. And then I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but I'm going to have to recoat my my lid with tallow. Get it repolymerized a bit, and then we'll vacuum it out, clean out the burn pot, wipe everything down, and it should be good as new again. All right, we'll see you in a second. All right, well, now that we got the blower and electronic compartment vacuumed out, what I like to do is I'm going to do a degreasing spray all over the outside of my pit. I like to use Spray 9. It's a degreaser. It works pretty good. Mild cleaner, nothing too crazy, doesn't leave any bad residues, and I use a microfiber towel just to get off. Now this part along here is usually the worst because that's where you spill all your grease. So just and this won't destroy the paint or anything. It just a nice mild cleaner. You can use simple green. You can use whatever the heck you want. We'll just get that all cleaned up. Clean off your gauge. Wipe the bottom of the door here, because like I say, that's your worst part. And this part here on the bottom, I don't know if you can see that or not, but anyways, you get the idea. Won't make you go through all this, but just wipe her down, get the degreaser on it, let it dry, and then we're going to use some mineral oils type stuff on the outside when we're all done cleaning to restore the beautiful shine. Now I've got the old controller. I don't have the nice beautiful controller that comes with the newer models. Pellet controller. I have the old Fireboard too, but it runs just as well, I think. Okay, now get your stack, clean your stack off because it's always loaded with junk. Get the back of your pit. Let's get the grease bucket. And I've got an oversized one. So I'm going to close the valve up here. Get off the hook. I've lined mine with foil, and I'm just going to throw this in the trash. Okay, so now I don't know if you can see, but I've deployed my my side tables here and here, front table, side table, and they're pretty clean, but let's spray them down with some degreaser. And even the top of the stainless here, and we will wipe it off. Okay, I found a microfiber towel. I'm just going to wipe this off a bit. It's actually really clean. I try and keep this top surface as clean as I can, and it's super easy to clean the stainless off. Now, the underside of this thing is filthy because when you have it flipped down like this, and you're cooking, I don't know if you can see that on the bottom, maybe you can, but it collects with all kinds of crud, so I'm going to go to the other, actually I can probably get it from here. Okay, so now that you got the top wiped off, I like to use stainless steel cleaner on my shelves. So now that you got the top of your tables and the underside, I like to use this Wyman stainless steel cleaner and polish. So just give her a, that's all you need. And there you go. Okay. And this is this actually kind of acts as a polish. So get a nice clean spot on your towel. Wipe it with, try and wipe it across with the grain of the stainless. You want to rub it in like a polish. And it'll shine it up real nice. Now my table's scratched up a bit from all the cooking. Okay. That's all there is to it. Now it's nice and shiny. Put that down. Wipe the stainless handle off. Okay, and now we're going to do the same thing with the front table. Go with the grain side to side. Okay, and you just rub it in, polish it up, and we'll fold that back down so we don't get it all dirty. Okay, done there. Okay, so we got the outside of the cooker clean. I got the, oh, you guys forgot to tell me that I forgot to do the top of the hopper here. So we'll get that cleaned off. And now we'll put some polish on there. I'm just going to put a little bit on here. There's probably no reason to, because I'm looking at the stack there. I'm short. Sorry about that. There, so I polished up the stack cover. Okay, now we're going to do the lower part of the grill. So the bottom table. I'm going to, you know what, before I do that, okay, here's what I always forget to do. So when you pull this burn pot out, you pull it out, well, you know what happens? You get crud, which is what you see in here, spilling all over the place, okay? So let's pull the burn pot now, dump it out, scrape it off, clean it up, clean the surfaces here, get this all cleaned up, then we'll be done the outside. All right? So here's the example. Let me go unclip the front and I'll show you. Now this is just how I do my grill. Everybody's different, okay? So when I pull this, there, see? You see the stuff coming out of there? There, my pot's full, so I'm gonna go dump this outside. I'll be right back. Okay, so I've pulled the burn pot. I'm just gonna do a quick spray and scrape some of the junk out of here onto my bench. And you notice I'm using a plastic scraper. You don't want to use a steel one because you might put some more rust into this thing, and I don't want to rust it all up. Okay, so we're gonna just clean this off a bit. Now the burn pot looks a lot better. Okay, we're just gonna do the sides. This side. Try not to scrape the gasket or spray the gasket with degreaser, because your gasket will get all screwed up. The inside of the burn pot doesn't look too bad. Nice and clean. I'll give her a squirt. Just for fun. Now some of the older models don't have the handle. Mine's a little newer one, but it has the handle. There. Alright. Okay. Do the inside here, clean this out a bit, clean this offside. I'm going to clean the bottom. Okay. Holy, lots of pellets from this side. You know what, I'm going to vacuum that. Let me stick my head in here. Oh yeah. Okay. So I don't know if you can see this or not. But, there. Okay, I'm going to get the vacuum and clean that out. Wipe it off a bit. I like to clean this bottom. Okay, let's get the bottom pan cleaned out. All right, there's that part. You can see where the straps, where they had it strapped to the pallet there. Scraped it a bit. Okay, back of this is all clean. Sides are clean. Only thing left to do is this part of the burn pot. Look, you don't have to do as big of a clean as I'm doing, but I haven't cleaned it in a few months. So that is your basic outside wipe down. All right. Okay, so let's get these grates out. I got all the heavies taken off of them. Actually, I'm going to flip this one over and just do the underside quick before I pull the deflector plate out. Okay, so I like to flip my grill upside down as well, the grate. And hey, look, if I had the $800 or so to buy the stainless steel bar grates right now, I'd do it in 5 seconds. I think Grates makes a really nice set of grates that the guys have gone to. There's another one, I think Detailed Machining or something. Anyways, these are good and they work good, and they you know, they're seasoned and everything, but just kind of a pain to clean. All right, so we got the top heavy scraped up. I think I got all the heavies taken off here, just to make sure. And this, by the way, that's a brass bristle brush, so shouldn't be imparting any rust into here. Okay, and then you gotta clean this temperature probe too. I'll get my green scrubby pad and clean that off. Okay. I'm just going to flip this upside down. Put it on the top one. Scrape off what I can. It's all going down onto my deflector plate, which I'm cleaning here in a second anyways. Okay, now we're at the filthiest part, the worst part of the cleaning. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape down the back wall. So everything keeps going top to bottom. So scrape everything down, down, down. Yeah, I got to wipe out the grease trap. Clean off my plate and then you finally clean off your deflector plates. But let's start on the walls. Oh, keep your ball valve closed, because when you're cleaning inside, it'll all go down onto your nicely cleaned bottom shelf. I learned that the hard way. Okay, I'm going to try to do this one-handed with the flashlight. Let's go to a wide beam, and there we go. You can see where it's the polymerized tallow that I had on there is coming off, because, well, I've been running this pretty hot. Okay. So I'm using a plastic scraper because this is seasoned, okay? So you don't want to take everything off, but you want to scrape off the stuff that'll flake off into your food. All right, same with the end here. And your tracks. Look, and my pit's been actually worse than this. Okay, so I'll get this scraped off. I'm going to use my little scraper now. So, look, I got the side walls. This one's not bad. It's still oily. You know, we're going to want to respray this. Get some of the creosote off there. We're going to want to respray this, okay? Now, don't scrape your stuff into your grease trap, because you're going to just have to clean that out anyways. I think I've got a tote laying around that I usually scrape and dump this into. Let me get that. Okay, so I'm gonna get my smaller brushes and clean around the pellet dump. Clean off this and clean off the temperature probe. So hang on a second. Okay, so this is a stainless brush. So I'm just gonna clean up some of this stuff. Clean up some of the grime. Don't worry, we'll get the vacuum cleaner in here and suck all this up. Alright, let me get my little scraper so I can get in there closer. So I got my little scraper. Handy getting into tight spots. If you can't get that, use your little stainless toothbrush. Okay, that doesn't look bad. Alright, the tops of these. Same over here. This is your cooler end, so this is more greasy. Okay, so see all this crud on top of your Sear plate and your deflector plate? I'm gonna scrape off as much of that, then grab it with my glove and pull it out. Then I'm gonna pull these plates off and do a really good scrape. And then we're gonna vacuum the bottom, and that'll be the inside. Stay tuned. Okay, so let's get this the Sear plate scraped off. So you can see this. Okay, it's not so bad. Okay, now you want to have your garbage can handy to scrape some of this off, but otherwise this isn't so bad. This one, it's the other one that's bad. Alright, I'm just going to clean the top off. Nothing too crazy, because this is I'm going to spray it with oil here in a second. Let it dry off. We're going to scrape this into a little pile. And actually, it comes off way easier the better you have your stuff seasoned. So we're going to spray some avocado oil on here after we're all done. Okay, so you want to take this crud, just throw it in the trash. Look, and you know, if you have your own secret method of cleaning, stick with it. This is not the best or most complete method. Alright, so I'm going to take my deflector plate out now, scrape it off the best I can, re-season it, then I'm going to finish vacuuming and then cleaning out the grease trap, and then we'll be done. Okay, I'm going to pull my deflector plate out. I don't have the Ullabur magnets from Amazon yet, so I'm just going to pull it out by hand. This is it's always tricky getting it out of here, and then we'll go scrape it off outside. Okay, come on, there we go. Look at that. And this thing's, you know, I don't know, 40 pounds maybe. It's not light. There, and you can see there's quite a load of ash in there. So we'll get the vacuum out here in a minute. Hey, leave me a comment below Now I'm not using the pressure washer. I'm not going that deep on this one. But let me know how you clean yours. Probably this fall I'll get the pressure washer out and do it before winter hits. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna leave this out here. Spray a little degreaser on here. Maybe kill some grass, probably, and then wipe it down. Oh, my battery's almost dead. Okay, we're gonna scrape this into this pile here and vacuum it up. Scrape your walls down, and then vacuum as you're like. We'll go back in here and vacuum. Don't worry. This is a few months worth of ash. All right. Okay. So we're back at the plate. Let's clean this off with degreaser. Let's get this vacuumed up. Sorry for the noise. So we're going to just clean around there a little bit more and then spray some oil in there. Okay, so I just have to clean out the grease area. I need some paper towels for that. Okay, so when I do the lid, I don't want to spray it directly because it'll screw up the gasket, so I'm going to put some on this towel and just apply a light coating on there like that. Looks better. Alright, so I'm going to go get my avocado oil and finish the inside and then get some paper towels for that, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I got my avocado oil, just regular old spray. Let's do a little re-season. Now let's go out and get our heat deflector and put that back in, and then we'll get the mineral oil on that. And oh, I guess I should clean out this first. Okay, so I'm just gonna put some paper towel and wipe out this grease, whatever's left in here. Most of it drains out the bottom. Yeah, it's not so bad. Okay, well that's pretty clean. Got her seasoned, cleaned. Let's get that deflector in, and then we can season that with my food grade mineral oil. Get the searing plate put back in. Get our grates back. I'll spray them down a little bit, and then we should be ready to cook. Oh, almost. And then I gotta clean the outside of or oil up the outside of the pit with my pit protector. So I'm gonna spray a little bit of mineral oil on the bottom. Let's get this put back in. There's a tab there. You see this little tab here? Needs to fit in, and this goes on top. Okay, so we're going to get some food grade mineral oil. Spray it like so. We're going to just wipe it a little bit. Make sure it's coated all over. Okay, so we got our food grade mineral oil down. Now we're going to put our searing plate on. Oil the bottom so it doesn't stick. It slides nice. We'll put some on the top. Wipe it in. Cover up the slots. There we go. So this thing's well seasoned. We put a little more on the top there. Go. So let's get those grates back in and then finish cleaning the outside and we'll be done. Just make sure the handle's clean so when you touch it, it's not all gross. And the front of the frame's not so bad. Just for good measure. Okay. Now we'll put the top grate back in. Clean off the front of it a little bit so that you're not grabbing all the greasy mess. Same thing, a little avocado oil. So the inside's clean so that we can do some cooking again. So let's get this closed up. What I'm gonna do is get myself a clean microfiber towel and apply the pit protector. So food grade mineral oil on the plate and then this on the outside. Now that your grill is clean, or your smoker is clean, and you've got everything wiped down, I either use mineral oil or I've been using this Pimp my grill. It's basically mineral oil, but it's got UV protectant in it for your paint, which I really like. Now, you can get this from their site. It's good stuff. Or you can just use food grade mineral oil or PAM or whatever you want. Although just FYI, PAM will attract a lot more dirt than mineral oil. Don't ask me why, I have no idea. But I'm going to use some Pimp my grill, and you let it kind of soak into your paint, and it makes it look brand new car-like. So let's get this opened up and on there. Okay, time to put the pit protector on. Now look, you have to let this stuff soak in to your paint overnight. So it may look uneven, but I'm just going to put a little bit of this on the surface, some on my towel. There's no escape for you, towelly. Alright, so we're just going to put this in and let her shine it up. I've used this before on my blazing unit, and it really helps with the sun beating down on your paint when it's outside. Like I said, you don't have to use this. This is just what I use. You can use food grade mineral oil like the stuff I just used. But like I say, this seems to hold better. I don't know. It's expensive. Don't activate your pellet dump when you're doing this, so you'll be cleaning pellets off your floor. Okay, you get the gist of it. I'm going to finish. I'm going to do the bottom part, let this sit overnight, and then I'll buff it in the morning. So I'm going to turn this off, finish. Oh, I got to put the burn pot back on. I'm going to wipe the burn pot painted surface off, clean this, and put some protectant on there because it's painted. Hey, well, it's me. We're back. It's the next day. So I've let the pit protector by Pimp My Grill sit on my smoker here overnight, and you can see, you know, from the video maybe, there's some shinier spots and darker spots. It's just where the stuff really soaked into the paint. So basically what you got to do now is go through. We're almost done the cleaning and shining video. Just go and you just buff off the excess with a microfiber towel, and then just work it all in. When you get it out in the sunlight, you can really tell the difference. All right, so I'm gonna go and rub this all down. Then we're going to foil up our grease bucket, and I'm gonna show you a little trick for that. And then we're done. And then I'm actually, now that it's clean, I hate to say this, but I got to throw some party ribs on here that I've never made before. That's another video that you guys can check it out. And I'm going to get it dirty again. All right, so we'll see you in a second here when it's time to do the foil on the bucket. That's a little trick. All right, well, the outside of the pit's all been buffed off, took all the excess pit protectant off. And second last thing we're going to do is oil the hinges. That's an important maintenance step that you should do at least once a year. I like to use this 3-in-1 oil. You can use whatever you want. It doesn't have to be this. It's just what I have kicking around the house. So you don't need a whole heck of a lot. And that's it for oiling up your hinges. I don't know if you can see that, but then you want to run them back and forth a couple times just to make sure the oil's in there. Oh, hey, some of you guys have been asking, hey, Lost Canuck, how hard is it to open the lid? Well, my driver's license says 5'7", but it's more like probably 5', 6.5". I'm vertically challenged. And with the shelf out, okay, front shelf out, I can just get to the handle and pull it down without burning myself. Now, it's way easier with the shelf down. Now it's like simple. Anyways, I know some of you guys were asking, you know, hey, my wife's short, can she open and close it? Look, if she's taller, as tall as 5', 6.5" or taller, you 6-foot guys are lucky. Yeah, no problem. Even with the shelf out, I can do it. All right, so hinges are oiled, outside's clean. Okay, now back to the last part of the cleaning. So for my pellet grill, my Lone Star, I have a larger stainless steel, all stainless steel bucket. If you're interested in this bucket, that's beautiful. There's a link down below in my Amazon store if you're interested in purchasing something like that. Anyways, so here's the hack, okay? Take your bucket, turn it upside down, grab some aluminum foil. Now this happens to be 18-inch because it's a big bucket. And give yourself enough to go up the sides. That's plenty. Probably a little too much. Okay. All right, so center it and then just start smoothing down around it like so. The one wall is a little short, that's this side here. So let's do one more piece. So now you got the outside shape of your bucket, okay? So you pull this off, all right, just like that. Flip your bucket over. Just push this in. Done. No more fighting. And just crimp this around the outside. Now look, I don't know what you're paying for bucket liners for your buckets, but this was pretty cheap. It's my household foil. Now it doesn't have to be. I have a bigger bucket, so I'm using my bigger foil. But you can use standard, 12-inch wide stuff if you got the smaller buckets. Okay, so there's another small hack. You guys probably already knew that. And there, it's all lined. Grease won't go on the inside. We're going to hang this up, drag this thing outside. We'll show you the finished product. So let's do a little recap before we run out there, okay? So we cleaned the motor and fan area. We took the access panel out, vacuumed that all out. Scraped out the burn pod as best we could. Vacuumed the burn pod area. It's all clean. Cleaned the interior, re-seasoned the interior, cleaned the outside of the pit, cleaned off our shelves, relined our bucket. There, in the pellet smoker, pellet grill world, it's all you got to do. It doesn't have to be a Lone Star. It could be, you know, Pit Boss or Pits and Spits or whatever you got. Okay, Weber, doesn't matter. It's all same principle. So let's wheel this outside and then you can see the finished product. All right, well, we're outside. I'm getting ready to cook on this again, but here's the finished product. That's basically the end of the maintenance and cleaning video for the Lone Star Grillz 42-inch pellet smoker. Now, you may clean yours differently. You may pressure wash your grates, go really deep. This was just pretty much a general clean and general maintenance. Hinges and access panel, okay? Don't forget your grease bucket, that's important. And so that's, we're at the end. So what I'm gonna do is, first of all, thanks, if you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. Much appreciated. Don't forget to hit that like button. That really helps my channel. It's always appreciated. And for all my subscribers, returning subscribers, thanks for coming back. Thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for being the core. Very much appreciated. Don't forget to hit that notify me bell on the channel. And then when there's new content coming out, it'll let you know. And then finally, if you aren't subscribed and you're watching this, and you want some other tips or cooks or recipes or all that kind of stuff, I've got plenty of other content on the channel. Right now I got 4 different kinds of grills. Got my Lone Star. I'm actually doing a little cook over here on my Blazing. I don't know if you can see it in the background. And so that's 2 pellet grills, and then I got 2 charcoal grills inside. I got my PK 360 and my Oklahoma Joe's Bronco 2.0. Okay, so actually tonight I'm gonna probably be trying to cook out on the PK 360. Okay, so and then right now I'm gonna make a video on some party ribs. So if you haven't seen that, it's coming. All right, and that's the end. I'm gonna put some more content up here. Click on my additional videos. I'm gonna put some from YouTube right up here. And hey, final thoughts, final words. Lost Canuck says, don't forget, be kind to each other, okay? It really matters. Mental health is extremely important. All right, love you guys. Thanks for sticking with me. It's always appreciated. Like I said, it's a fun hobby. Bye-bye.